Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Harry Muppet. Welcome back to the Daily Masters Cast. I've actually jumped into this one a little bit into the game. They've already got like 13, 14 workers, but that is fine. Let's start introducing the players. Down the bottom right side of the map, it is none other than MMA. Very, very strong Terran player, which we haven't seen in quite a while. Or maybe we saw him last week, I really can't remember. But he's pretty awesome. And he's done some extremely good stuff in 2013. So 2014, fully expecting to see some more awesome stuff out of him. And this is actually from DreamHack Winter. So very, very awesome tournament. And up the top left side of the map, it is of course going to be Life. And yeah, so I forgot to introduce these players properly, but Life is from South Korea. He plays for the Startail team. And MMA is also from South Korea and plays for Team Acer. So both players really high up in there and doing some really awesome stuff. And we do have a Reaper coming out for MMA, which of course is going to be very, very awesome. So just going to be checking out this game, seeing what's going on. And actually started this game late, but went through the introduction so quickly that there's not really much to talk about anymore. We do have a second Reaper coming out. And we've just got the hatch before pull thing just about finished now. So we're going to see a couple of lings coming out, a couple of queens coming out. Very, very important to make sure you have the minerals to bust that out straight away, because the double queens is so potent and allows you to defend both of your bases from the Reapers wherever they do go. But of course it does take a little while, which is why you need those lings. And this Reaper is going to be instantly chased away all over the place. So very, very nice work there. And there's two lings over there just going to be chasing it away. If you give it time, the Reaper can kill all of those lings quite easily with some nice kiting, but by the time it gets to that stage, the Queen is out and then the Reaper is going to be boned. So second Reaper at this point doesn't really do anything, but MMA is not going to be slacking off. He is getting a second base, he's getting a factory, so he is not going to be getting a ton of Reapers and just going nuts on them. He is going to be going for some Hellion harassment as well by the looks of it. The reactor actually a little bit delayed here. So yeah, he would have liked to get that out a little bit early, but I guess maybe the second Reaper caused that to be a bit late, or maybe there's just a bit of miss macro, something like that going on. But regardless, the Reaper's almost getting a ling killed there. Almost. Not quite though. And oh man, this game hard interface does not have the units lost. But we do have one kill there, so I'm going to assume that was a ling that got killed. If you have a look at the units, we've actually got 8 lings, which doesn't really make sense. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe he did manage to kill a worker. But these lings are definitely getting taken out right here, and 2 Hellions going to be coming out, so going to be instantly cleaned up. But one Reaper does go down, getting a little bit too dicey. The other Reaper just manages to get out of the way. The lings are a little bit indecisive about who they're going to go after, but with only one ling left, it's kind of a moot point right now. And yes, with the Hellion pressure out on the map and with a single Viking coming out as well, very, very awesome. We actually got a tech lab coming down there. Where's the starport? Over here. So just building a Viking at the moment, going to be chasing away some overlords, going to be killing all of them, reducing the visibility that Life has, and also cutting down on his supply. So very, very nice to get that early Viking out and start just shooting things out of the sky. So he's not really pushing in with too much more though. He's got 4 Hellions. He does not look like he's pushing out any more. He's got another 2 over here just waiting, and 6 definitely going to be a good option. Looks like he's planning to move a barracks over there as well. We've actually got a supply drop on this thing just to give him a little bit of extra supply. I suppose he was supply capped at one point. If you're supply capped, it's probably worth it, because then you get to build those workers a little bit faster. But you don't want to be in a position where you're supply capped. It's like an oh shit button. It's like if you're oh shit, you're completely supply capped, then yeah, maybe it makes sense to just put a supply drop on there just so you can keep building workers, because not building workers is a horrible position to be in. Absolutely horrible. So I'd say supply drop definitely worth it, but unless you're supply capped, definitely a mule is a lot better of an option than a supply drop. Like almost certainly going to be a better option. Yeah, so here we go. The Hellion's moving around, getting a bit of creep taken out there. But with 3 queens, they're not going to be able to get too far in. They could potentially just skate in to this 3rd base. There is a lot of creep around here though. So the queens do have the possibility to defend it, but they can't defend both entrances. And the Hellions going up here, up the top side, and the queens are going to chase them up this ramp. They could perhaps go around, just shoot straight past the queens, but they probably would lose a single Hellion, maybe even 2. The queens do a lot of damage. So yeah, the queens really pushing them back. They could go around the long way, try and run up into that natural expansion, you never know. But actually there is a medevac coming back over here, so the Hellions deciding to try and bait the queens out, and they're doing a pretty good job. And now the medevac coming in, where the Widow Mine does get taken out, and meanwhile doing a drop on the top side. They bunch of Marines, but I don't think they're even going to get the queen out. A stim though does take the queen down to a low amount of health, but a wall of lings is going to stop this queen from dying. Although if the queen runs out too much, you could re-land. Although the medevac just does not have enough health, and finally scoots away. And I keep forgetting how many expansions bloody Life has. I thought that was the main. This is actually the main. It just keeps on going, and the Hellions coming back in, looking to be roasting some creep, but not quite worth a scan there to see that thing. Just with Hellions there. So going pretty good though. But we do have a 4th base coming down for Life. We do have a 3rd base being built for MMA, actually being converted into an orbital right now. Got a bunch of Marines coming out. We've got 1-1 for the Terran player. The Zerg player Life already on 1-1, is currently researching 2-2. Also researching centrifugal hooks, baneling speed. So it looks like it's going to be Mutiling versus Triple M plus Widow Mine support. And we have seen that unit composition a million times before, and it has been awesome a million times before. So definitely going to be a game to look forward to. And yeah, not usually the sort of game that's over very quickly. With Roach Hydra, it can be pushed pretty quickly, pushed over, but with Mutiling, it tends to be a bit more sort of macro that the Zerg really needs to push through, just really get that macro going. And yeah, so the Zerg can't make quite. The Zerg player does have a bit of a point where they're just building stuff. They can't really make anything happen. They just have to build stuff. But as soon as the first wave of mutas comes out, and their mutas start getting up to like the 10, 12 mark, then the Zerg player starts to get into gear. But I mean, the Zerg player hasn't quite reached that yet. They haven't got many mutas yet, but building up 8. So the time is about to begin where Life can start to push out and start to make stuff happen. He's been doing a fantastic job at pushing the creep out in preparation for when his army is actually going to move out, but no longer. It looks like MMA is going to be pushing back, and there we go. There's the scan, and the creep being well and truly pushed back right here. Major pushback, but we've got baneling speed. We've got a ton of lings, and we do have a small amount of mutas coming out. Hellion's going to be helping out, but the lings trying to surround here, and the banelings are coming in, doing a lot of hits right here. These Marines are going to get taken out for the most part. Just Marauders left over. But this medevac may just survive, manages to retreat into a group of Marines over here. And the eternal tug of war, which happens in this sort of matchup, which happens in Mutiling versus Triple M, has just begun. And we can fully expect this to go on for a very long time. And you just have bases taken out left, right and center, trying to supply the infinitely large amount of forces that are constantly sent out from both players. I mean, we've got 8 Marines coming out at a time, but that's obviously not enough. It looks like MMA is going to be building another 3 barracks, as he should. You need to be putting out like 10, 12 Marines at a time to be able to go against a Zerg player who is macroing like a complete boss. And we know that Life is capable of that. We've got a 5th base coming down here. We look at the income. He's 77 over 66. It's not the most workers we've ever seen from a Zerg player, but it is extremely high nonetheless. And there we go. Mutas being pushed back. No link support for them, so they just cannot deal with the Marines. But Life does have the unit advantage at the moment. He's currently over by about 30 supply. But MMA, with a good medevac control, is going to keep his Marines alive. And that's one thing that, well, I don't know. It's something we do see in TvZ, but generally not in Mutiling. Mutiling is usually the mutas do take care of the medevacs after a while. In fact, they usually go for them straight away. And here we go, the Marines totally trapped in enemy territory. The reinforcements just a little bit too late, but they are going to take the chance to kill some creep before the main army comes around and starts knocking them about. So good stuff there by MMA, and he just gets out of there in time. This medevac may go down though, but it boosts out at the last second. And look at this, we've actually got vehicle weapons coming out, so that is mainly going to be for the Widow Mines, but definitely will help if there's a couple of Vikings out on this map, which there is this one. And I have a feeling this guy is the first Viking that was built like 20 minutes ago or something. That was just killing overlords for the hell of it. But here we go. Let's have a look at the upgrades. And we do have 2-2 nearly finished for the Terran player. The Zerg player does have 2-2 already. And if we have a look at the air, he's got 1-0. And I have a feeling we've just now got 1-0 for the Terran player as well for those Widow Mines. So very, very nice. 1 armor for the vehicle would not be a bad idea for MMA as well, simply to keep those medevacs alive a little bit longer, because the mutas are going to be pumping up the damage. There's level 2 weapons for those mutalists, but they're not going to have that much luck trying to get in here. It's just not working. Meanwhile, I got a Viking coming around, manages to see a 5th base, which is very nice because this is a full dropship coming up behind with 1 Widow Mine, planting that in the ground. Going to be an excellent idea, and we have 2 overseers, but they were over here with the muta pack, or at least, yeah, both of them are, so that's pretty awesome. Oh, look at these lings, man. Those lings can be taken out quite easily. What are the bailing numbers looking like? There's 12 at the moment, 111 lings, so yeah, I mean, Life really, really could do a bit better at forming those guys into bailings. I mean, if MMA runs in here right now, he's going to need as many bailings as he can get. There's another 11 bailings coming out right now, as well as the Ling attack speed. We've got major engagement over here. Bailey's coming in, but the Widow Mine's taken quite a few hits off them. That guy's got 8 kills. That guy's got 8 kills. So beautiful job there by MMA, and continuing to push the creep back. Doing an excellent job keeping the creep, trying to keep the creep clear on his side of the map. He's doing alright, but this stuff, yeah, he needs to clean this out. So there we go. Excellent, excellent stuff there. And the Widow Mine's still there, man. He's trying to build a Spore Crawler and a Spine. Can't build the Spine because there is a Widow Mine there. It's kind of a chicken and the egg sort of situation. You need the Spine Crawler to kill the Widow Mine, but the Widow Mine's in the way of the Spine Crawler. So what are you going to do? Turns out you just put the Spine Crawler in a different position. So it's not actually that difficult, but here we go. Life coming in. He's got a ton of Lings, but the Lings are all going to die if they get too close to this Marine pack. I mean, Lings versus Marines, it just does not work. The Marines are in a huge group, and because the Marines have the range, every single Marine can attack the Lings, but only the Lings that are next to the Marines can attack the Marines. So, I mean, 2 Lings versus 1 Marine for the same cost, the Lings may win, but the Marines have the advantage of the range, and it's down to the Baileys to really take them out. The Baileys did a fantastic job there, really knocking back the Marine numbers. And because of Life's insane macro, he can just re-macro up almost straight up to full size. But there is a Thor, and the Thors, man, if they start doing a great job, look at that split though, man. MMA had the most awesome split I've ever seen, and Life just split his Bailings up perfectly. Absolutely annihilated everything. And that sort of play, man, I mean, that worries me quite a bit, because MMA, he's good, but that split was incredible, absolutely incredible. They went in 4 different directions, and the Bailings still got them. So, even with the best split in the world, it seems that it's just not going to happen for him. Here we go. Missile turrets going to be taking these guys out, but they have found a sweet spot, and the rocks are down, so it's going to take ages for MMA to get around here. But Life choosing not to go for it, and wow, look at this. There is a ton of Ultras out on the map. They do have 3-3 with Ultra Armor just about to finish. We do have Infestors as well coming out of the field, and I don't know, man. So far, MMA has been playing pretty solidly, but I think Life is just playing above the edge. He's just playing above the level. I mean, he's not solid. I think he's getting into the fantastic play area here. And if MMA wants to survive this, if he wants to hang on, then he's going to have to start pulling some stuff out, because Life is definitely pulling some stuff out. He's all over the place. He's getting Ultras, he's getting Infestors, he's got the Bailings going in, sacking those to use up the Widow Mines. Oh, hitting the bloody Ultras, man. That can't be fun, but these guys coming out, and the Widow Mines are going to get taken out, and He's just... Life is mixing it up too fast for MMA to deal with it. He got Thor's out, and that was a bit of a play against the mutas. Wasn't really all that good, and now there are almost no mutas on the map. The Thors are okay versus Ultras, but not that good. You need a massive amount of Marauders coming out, but he doesn't have a lot at the moment. There's only 5 with 3 more coming out. So give him another 2 or 3 minutes, and he'll have an extremely awesome Marauder army, but 2 or 3 minutes may just be too long. Bailey's coming in for the work. He may try and save him. He's dropping off some units there, but it's not looking good. And the main army coming in, the Ultra, coming in nice and close, and MMA comes out to try and defend, runs straight into a fungal, and then has to retreat. And I think this is just the beginning of the end for MMA, man. I mean, Life has just been throwing everything at him. We even see some Corruptors coming out to deal with the Medivacs because he's really lost all of his anti-air when he stopped producing the mutas. So yeah, I mean, a few Corruptors would definitely be awesome, but I don't think it's even going to come to that. Life just takes it out with the Ultras, and MMA did not see those Ultras come in. And the addition of Fungal Growth really hit him in the ass, really took him back, but it was the Ultras which broke him. And he just didn't have the time to get the Marauder forces out, and he just got overwhelmed in the end. Too many Ultras, hitting him too hard, and that was it, game over. So, yeah, congratulations to Life. As I said, I mean, MMA, very, very solid, but Life went above and beyond what we'd expect of him, and really played an awesome game right there, and really had an awesome victory. So, great game. Very, very happy to have cast it, and thank you very much for watching, everybody. This has been Harry Muppet. I hope you enjoyed this game. Stay tuned tomorrow for another one.